Jay Leno, like, I don't understand. I mean, why you want to offend your audience? Why not just do a show about, why do you have to talk about things you believe? Why do you have to make jokes about things you actually think? And I'll just say, I'm just going to go throw myself down a hill and see if I can get a concussion. I mean, the whole thing is fucking ridiculous.
Now that wasn't Jay Leno. You might have thought that up until the last second, but that was just a spot on impersonation by Jon Stewart, who's not a fan of the fact that Leno has been criticizing the sort of comedy that a lot of late night engages in, especially Stephen Colbert. Now, to be fair to Jay Leno, for some reason, he did this interview with the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation Institute. It was before late night was canceled, because Donald Trump didn't like being made fun of, to be clear. And in it, he said, I love political humor, don't get me wrong, but why shoot for just half an audience all the time? Why not try to get the whole? I mean, I like to bring people into the big picture, and there's no room in the big picture for politics or the stuff that affects people, or I guess just tell jokes about movies. I don't know what you're supposed to do at that point, but in any event, we're gonna get to more of what Jon Stewart had to say about Leno. I do want to just acknowledge that ever since he was sacrificed on the altar of wanting a merger or whatever, Stephen Colbert's Late Show, which is in its last year now, has been drawing its best raw ratings in over 2 years, over 3 million total viewers tuning in each night last week. And in particular, in the 18 to 49 demo, his weekly average jumped 64% from the previous week, the largest audience of any show in late night, which is pretty amazing. And so I'm gonna give you just a little bit more of what they said. Leno, he has said he's not a fan of Trump's, but he called his 2024 win a great day for democracy. He'd made similar comments about both sides, telling Variety in November that back in his day, you'd get angry letters from both sides. Now you kind of have to take a side, and yeah, it's a little bit different. But maybe what's different is the situation. Like maybe Colbert isn't the issue here. Maybe it's that Donald Trump is a massive radical wackadoodle. But anyway, let's close with a little bit more from what Jon Stewart had to say. This is them trying to police and create rules that they would never follow. That's how Fox is popular. That's how any of these people, they all talk about Greg Gutfeld. It's the most popular. Yet he's not popular because he's a both sides guy. He's relentless. And after a day of watching Fox News and being bathed in their very purposeful propaganda, it's a great way to top off the night. If you look at the social media profile of all of the people that complain about the left-wing bias, they're all right-wing influencers. They all make their money. Their entire economy is based on how they're willing to attack, to defame, and to crush liberals. The whole thing is bull S. Yes, like I can't say that that's true of everyone, but the right wingers that are saying the left needs to stop being so political, they're political. Like we were talking about this a couple weeks ago, Brett. They say you stop making woke movies. Why does everything have to be about politics? But then every time a right winger starts up a movie studio, it's just political stuff, like the most biased stuff you've ever seen. And so I like that Colbert or that Stewart isn't giving it to them on that.
The Shillitary industrial complex, they declare culture wars so they can make money off it. That's it. That's the answer. Like Jay Leno was never a political comedian. Stephen Colbert was a sketch comedian who then had a character that was a political comedic staple of late night television before he got the network job. His numbers at 3.5 million, I'm pretty sure are on par with not the finale episode of Letterman, but what I vaguely remember as the last week of Letterman. And he's still got months to go. There's a lot going on in this, but the truth is like comedians telling other comedians how to comedy. I guarantee these guys are still friends. I guarantee that like they still will defend each other against folks saying not to do comedy. But like Jay Leno is the kind of non-threatening, just tell silly jokes comedian. But I guarantee you, if Jay Leno was hosting the Tonight Show today and made your standard jokes about the president, this guy made tons of jokes about Bill Clinton and interns and all kinds of stuff. There's a difference now versus back then. Back then, everybody had fun at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah.
They'd go, they'd get made fun of, and that was it. Donald Trump stopped that thing because he can't handle comedy, not even the kind of political humor that has a place undeniably 100% since the dawn of time at the White House Correspondents' Center. Donald Trump is targeting that. Do you think he wouldn't target you if you just told jokes about the news before a joke about like a blimp that deflated or whatever else was in the news that day? Like that's the thing. I think that I can't, I understand the thought jumps into Jay Leno's mind. In my day, I get it. But I also guarantee you, he didn't think about it the way that Jon Stewart has to think about it. And certainly Stephen Colbert has to think about it every day, because you can see yourself in the monitor. And that's pretty similar to like, can I look myself in the mirror or sleep well at night if I don't do something in line with what my politics and really my core is telling me as a performer and a satirist?